listen, and I can't judge a man or say what he shouldn't do in regards to that. But he just, from the outside looking in, he just seems like the type of dude, from in terms of where he comes from, what he stands for, who he is. It ain't gonna fly with him. Just ain't gonna fly with him. And everybody ain't gonna be Magic Johnson and be supportive.
Yeah, those are some rough pictures to look at. Those family pictures of Magic Johnson, where it's got like the son just, hey, look at me, I'm trans, I'm wearing makeup and wigs and high heels, and I'm heavy, and it's weird looking.
He is Dragon Ball Z gay.
What is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, man, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Like I said, man, we running it up every day of December, 30 for 30. You know, y'all already know what's going on, man. Y'all know the drill. Run the likes up for the video. I drop one every single day. Simple exchange, right? So look, why y'all ain't getting the comments and tell me about this situation with Ghostface Killah and his son? Supposedly, he ain't seen this particular son over 10 years. He got a couple of sons, right? It's the whole family right here, it looks like. 2 daughters, 3 sons. I think Supreme, Infinite, and I forget what the other name, what the other son's name is. 2 of them rap. The ones, they all do music, obviously, right? We're talking about Ghostface Killah from Wu-Tang, you know, RZA, you know, y'all already know what's going on, man. I thought this was an interesting topic. Now, the reason I was like, I'm gonna talk about this. Y'all can already see what I got on the screen. Insane. Sweetface Killah. Insane. So this is the son that he basically disowned for obvious reasons, right? And so what I saw a clip from Cory Holcomb's live or his podcast show, and he was talking about this situation. So I said, all right, you know, I went on a little hunt for some other stuff. I saw that comedian, what's his name? Like Aries Spears or something like that. I saw him talk about him. You know, they brought up Magic Johnson. It was like, not everybody can be like Magic Johnson and his son. Y'all already know how that goes. I think Magic Johnson's son bigger than him. I'm not sure. We'll pull up some pictures or something, but y'all already know, you know, what be going on in the industry with some of these dudes and their children. And, you know, I honestly, I didn't know about Ghostface Killah and his son. But he doing some one-eye imagery right here on this album cover or single cover, whatever it is. It made me interested in this, you know, this story a little bit more. Because if I wouldn't have saw this, I might have not talked about this situation. But we know that people don't do this just, you know, for no reason for an album cover. And his son doing this tells me everything I need to know, while also being, you know, I would say, I don't know if he's in a transition mode or not, or if he's turning into a woman, but you can see him. This is Sweetface Killah. This is, which is insane. This is him in the orange shirt. You can see it. That nose is the same. This Sweetface right here. This ain't Ghostface, it's Sweetface. And, you know, it got me to think about everything, because you think about Magic Johnson and his son. We thought about Dwayne Wade and his son. And I want to show y'all a clip from, I think it might have been, is it Dwayne Wade's podcast or something? I'm not sure. But we got to see the update of how his son looks, or, whichever you want to call him or her, and how he talks now. But obviously, we getting into this because, these are all industry babies, so to speak. Ghostface being a part of Wu-Tang, one of the all-time great rap groups. I think he's still worth over $10 million. So, this basically industry stuff added once again, especially with Dwayne Wade. And, y'all remember the Boosie thing. Boosie had the most, to me, the funniest take on Dwayne Wade back a couple years back when he was like, don't let him cut his dick off. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him do that before he actually grows up.
I gotta say something about this shit, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have shit figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How you gonna... Like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet. Don't cut his fucking dick off, Dwayne Wade, bro. You fucking tripping, dog. You tripping, dog.
But anyway, let me not talk too much, as I usually do in the intro. We'll go ahead and jump into the first clip from Cory Holcomb. I just like his take on it, and we'll get into this topic a little bit more. All right, check this out.
You know who I'm talking about? Them bitches. This obnoxious woman,
right?
Or they got their son who dresses like a woman. Which is worse to deal with?
And he's obnoxious, the son?
No, his son got on a dress and lipstick and a skirt.
That's, man, I
Which is worse?
I guess for you guys that would be worse, but I think anybody that is interrupting...
You sitting up there, you got the choice. An obnoxious woman who doing way too much, or somebody whose son got on lipstick, a skirt, eyelashes, wig.
Right.
You supposed to just sit there like this is normal. Or talk to him like it's normal. You tell me, what's the worst scenario to be in?
The son.
Because it's still a man, too, so what if you had to, like, defend yourself?
Why is he here?
Yeah, what happened?
Greg, you speaking how I speak.
Yeah, why is he here? Don't you got a boyfriend? Go to Wiener Schnitzel and sit on one of them... you know what I mean?
Why, did that just happen?
No, I saw this interview with Dwayne Wade, and I just don't understand why Dwayne Wade likes to talk about everything good about his son except the elephant in the room.
Oh, didn't the son just turn 18 or something like that, right? The one.
Do we got that video together, Abe?
I thought I saw that.
He about to turn up.
You got that video, Abe? Okay, because I just want, I'm gonna get flack for this, but you can't bring a man dressed like a woman in front of me and expect me not to say, what the hell is this?
That is a male.
The trans conversation is not the entire conversation with us. This is 10% of our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have just conversation about anything.
Yeah.
Chicken fingers, French fries.
Remember our conversation on mustard?
Yeah, mustard. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think that every time that Zaya and I sit down and have, this daddy-daughter time, and I tell you guys all the time, I always create moments with my village, for my people, right? Especially my kids. I'm going to find these moments to create with them. I date them all the time. And so I find these little small moments to date my kids, but that's the moments where you get a chance to get to know them. And then they get a chance to get to know you outside of, the father figure and the child figure that's in the home, right? And so when we get out of the home, we get in the car, we go to restaurants, we go to different places, we go to parks. the shield's off.
You can't do it. You not finna act like this is normal behavior. Because the first thing I'm gonna ask you, if your son got on lipstick, dress, wig, makeup, I'm gonna ask you, so where do you think he got this from?
Man, I didn't even know you was talking about him. That's comedy.
Man, when you see this conversation, you're gonna be like, what is this?
That is a male.
He has basically got some guys who are going to give this boy a pass for sitting up here. You know this ain't no little bitty boy. This ain't no little bitty petite boy.
He grew?
What?
What is 6'5"?
I thought they just said he turned 18.
If he 18, it's about to get wild.
But D. Wade wants to try and make it seem like this is something. He wants to make it seem like something's wrong with you for not just accepting this for what it is.
Man.
And we're gonna talk about that. Let me ask you something. Is the video?
Him and Magic Son about to do a movie together.
What is it called?
It's Tu Wong Fu 2.
Tu Wong Fu 2. Hold on. Look at this, man. Look at this.
Wow.
Wait to hear him talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Timeout. Today we have a very special guest on the show, but before we get to our guest, let me introduce my co-host, Bob Metellus.
Just Bob.
Chris Johnson.
Coach's Corner.
And our guest today is Zaya Wade. What's up, Zaya?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Welcome to the Timeout. Can we get some Zaya Wade love in here? Can we get some welcome to?
Right there.
Well, thank you.
Zaya, have you ever watched our show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I watched the kind of premiere episode. And it was amazing. Since then, okay, but
Enough!
That is a male.
I don't make these videos to be like, people who make these decisions, y'all don't deserve to be on earth. I don't make these videos to be that kind of person. I've always believed in respect regardless of what's going on, right? But I've always also been the type to know, what is right, what is wrong, what is natural by God, and what, how the devil plays his hand to corrupt this world, just like Stranger Things, we living in the upside down, and we still somehow right side up, if that even makes sense. But, I say that to say that a lot of this stuff is accepted by people who have status. D. Wade sitting there doing a podcast with his nails painted amongst other men who would never do that in their life. But D. Wade is accepted because he's a 3-time NBA champion. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a very famous basketball player, one of the greats at his position. So the things that he does in his life and in his personal life will be scrutinized, but it will also be accepted amongst his peers. I'm not sitting in a podcast with a man that paints his nails. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it with you. You know what I'm saying? But it's accepted. So they're going to sit with his son who has, transitioned, his big ass son now, which is damn near the size of him. D. Wade about 6'4", 6'5". And that is a man. That's a boy. It don't matter how much you transition and, take estrogen and get them body parts changed, them chromosomes and all that good stuff that really make you who you are. You can't change none of that. You a boy. You are a boy. You know what I'm saying? And they fight so hard to be recognized as a woman when you are a boy. You big as hell. But what I'm saying is that, this stuff is accepted because of who they are. And I saw a video of Zaya is his name, I guess, Wade. And it was a time lapse of him when he was a child. You know, D-Wade picking him up after his games in the stadium, celebrating wins and championships when he was very young. And it was a time lapse from being very young to right now. And right around the age of 11 to 12 or however old he was in around that time, Gabrielle Union stepped in. And when she stepped in, maybe I could find a time lapse and show y'all real quick. Soon as she stepped in, his whole look turned into a woman. Everything changed after that. So in my mind, obviously, Gabrielle Union is responsible for some of this as well. Right? It's not her, it's not her son, technically, or biologically, whatever you want to call it. When she stepped in, he started being a girl. Now you can take that how you want to take it. But it's the same thing, with the Ghostface Killah situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long Ghostface Killah's son been trying to be a woman, but, we talking about this as far as like the industry. And, obviously you have regular people out here that are transitioning every other day. But, with the industry, it almost, some of it just seems like ritualistic, especially the whole thing with D-Wade. Even Magic Johnson a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm more disgusted at D-Wade because him and Gabrielle, they push this on people. They actually, like, when I think I cut it off before they got to that part, but the other host on Cory Holcomb was like, he think D-Wade is basically, like using his son or like in a sense, profiting off of what his son has become. I don't know. Also, what was very interesting, if y'all don't remember, it's very short. I could play it for y'all again. It's a very interesting choice of words for you to say you date your kids. I've been around plenty fathers, and I never heard a father say they date their kid. It's father, son day, father daughter day. I never heard I date my kids. I'm not insinuating that he's doing something with his kids, but that was just a very interesting choice of words. I wouldn't say that, I have a day, if I had a son, I have a day with my son. You know what I'm saying? Just thought that was very interesting. Anyway, let's jump back into another clip and probably come back and wrap this video up. All right. Check this out.
Let me tell you something. Ghostface Killah disowns his son because Ghostface Killah thought he raised a warrior. He thought he had a son cut from that Wu-Tang cloth. Woo with it, woo. Ghostface Killah thought he had a son that was gonna rock Timberland boots, 13 and a half, a white beater, and some goddamn blue 501 Levi jeans. You know how them New York ninjas do. But when his son came out the goddamn closet, Ghostface Killah couldn't handle it. He disowned him. He turned his back on the gay son because he thought his legacy would fail. He thought his legacy was on the line. He felt embarrassed. And his rainbow ass son thought his dad was gonna support his preference. Like Dwayne Wade support his son, and Magic Johnson support his son, and Marlon Wayans support his son. But Ghostface Killah removed his son out the goddamn will and cut all ties with the boy. But here's where the goddamn plot get twisted. The boy ain't fold. He goddamn grabbed that goddamn mic and he dropped the diss record on his daddy. A whole track dragging Ghostface Killah thing through the goddamn mud, exposing his daddy as a fake, lame, deadbeat dad. And on that track, he ain't show no love. He ain't have no mercy, and he ain't show no goddamn pity. The Rainbow Son ain't hold back. All he was missing on that goddamn diss record was a feature from Lil Nas X Lil Uzi skirt, and Big Saucy Santana.
What's even crazier about these pictures is if Ghostface Killah don't talk to him at all, ain't seen him, he probably wish he could completely, disassociate himself. It's like, I don't even have a third son. But man, you cannot deny this one right here. You know what's funny about it? He looks the most like Ghostface Killah than his other sons. I mean, that nose is a 10 out of 10 match. He looked just like Ghostface Killah. And I know, dude like him, that shit destroys him looking at his son and who he has become. Brown said he probably thought his son was going to be wearing Timberland boots size 13 and a half. It's crazy. But no, he wants to be a girl. And I almost completely forgot about Marlon Wayans' now son transitioned from a girl. I think her name was like Akai and now it's Kai or something like that with a beard. And of course, we've been talking about Magic and D-Wade, and there's plenty other examples across the industry. It doesn't all have to be black fathers who are experiencing this. Obviously, this is real world stuff as well. But it's also why I kind of pinpointed at some of this stuff being ritualistic too, because, it comes from a lot of black artists, black entertainers, actresses, actors and so on. And I don't know, at one point it just seemed like this was being pushed, and we've talked about this because I think I talked about it a lot with Megan Fox and, what she was doing with her kids and, they're pushing this. They're pushing it. Getting them while they are young. And if you realize it, everybody we're talking about, it started when they were young. And just like Cory Holcomb said, you wonder, where did they get this stuff from? You know what I'm saying? Where did they get it from? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, I'm a firm believer that Gabrielle Union is who taught Dwayne Wade's son the ropes. Just like Megan Fox was trying to put it on her boys. Same thing. They teach them this stuff. They read about it. They tell them it's okay. Next thing you know, boy want to be a girl. And it's that simple. But with that being said, y'all, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. Y'all already know what's going on, man. Let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. That being said, Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.